So many people think their acting career is like a roll of the dice. Maybe you'll get lucky and maybe you won't. But I've got some good news for you. There is one thing you can do to dramatically increase your odds, and it doesn't matter what you look like or who you know. It also doesn't cost a dime. Can you guess what it is? Write down what you think in the comments below. Do you give up? All right, I'll tell you. It's consistency. Now, before you roll your eyes and click off, just slow your roll. There are 3 areas of your acting career that you can work on every day and you will see results. They are your castability, your outreach, and your research. And in just a couple of minutes, I'm going to get into the nitty-gritty of all 3 of those and give you concrete actions that you can apply today to level up your career. So if you like videos like this, hit that like button and click subscribe. Maybe even share it with a friend in need. That really helps me to reach as many actors as possible. Okay, now let's get into it. Did you notice I left something off that list that you should remain consistent on? It's super important. If you know what it is, tell me in the comments. If you haven't figured it out by the end of the video, don't worry. I won't leave you hanging. By the way, if you're new to my channel, my name is Ann Alexander Cedar. I'm an actor and a life and career coach for actors. I relaunched my career when I was 47 years old in Germany, where I didn't speak the language fluently, had no industry contacts, and even worse, because I had taken almost a 16-year hiatus, I also had no current showreel material. You might think I had everything going against me, but I've actually been able to carve out quite a nice career here. And I did it by consistently, see what I did there? Working on the things I'm going to tell you about in just a minute. I say this so that you know that even when it looks like everything is going against you, you can still succeed. I've coached hundreds of actors, and the ones who get ahead all have one thing in common, just like the ones who don't. Success leaves clues, but so does failure. The actors who book constantly are also constantly working on their careers. So let's take a closer look at that. The first thing I mentioned was your castability. What does that even mean? In short, it's a combination of your inner and your outer characteristics and how they come together. It's the way you look and carry yourself plus your energy, basically your vibe. Every film, every TV series, and even every commercial is its own little microcosm, a world within itself with its own rules, tone, and style. Think about Game of Thrones versus Shameless, or White Lotus versus The Crown. Can you see how each of these has a very specific look and vibe? You need to be thinking of yourself in the same terms. So here are 3 things that you should work on. Number 1, come up with at least 2 types that you could easily play today and describe them. For example, one of the types that I play are boss bitches who take themselves way too seriously. Can you see how that description itself has conflict built into it? This will help to make your castability more intriguing. Number 2, think of at least 10 films and shows that you could slip into right now. And number 3, make sure that all of your online casting profiles align with your current castability. All right, now let's talk about what you're doing to make new contacts and to stay in touch with the people you already know. In other words, your marketing and your networking. Look, it's simple. People like to work with people they like. So to get more work, you need to build authentic relationships. And by authentic, I mean 2 things. Number 1, that you are being true to yourself and your USP as an actor, your castability. If you need help figuring out your USP, let's have a conversation. You'll find a direct link to my calendar in the show notes. And number 2, you want to avoid transactional relationships at all costs. Nobody likes to feel like the only reason you're reaching out to them is because you want something. Daily outreach should be a part of your routine. So what can you do? Well, there are 3 things. Number 1, follow your contacts on social media, and before you reach out, take a look at what's new in their lives and comment on that. Maybe they just got a new puppy and you're great with dogs. You could offer a few tips or just share a funny story about when your dog was a puppy. Or maybe they worked on a film or series that you loved. Tell them. Everyone loves honest compliments. Think first about what you can give before you ask for something. Number 2, reach out to a few old contacts every day. You'll find them on your call sheets, audition submissions, and in your network. And in 3 or 4 months, you should be back to square one, where you can start all over again. You want to be making contact about every quarter with these people. And lastly, number 3, reach out to a few new contacts every day. If you don't have their private email, social media is the great equalizer. Have a plan for who you're building new relationships with. Ideally, they'll be working in films and TV series where you would be a good fit, which brings me to research, which is number 3 from above. By the way, let me know in the comments what your biggest takeaways are so far. If you're feeling totally confused about your USP or how to reach out effectively, then reach out to me. I'd be glad to help. Do you remember when I asked you at the beginning of this video which 10 films or TV series you could slip into tomorrow? This is your starting point for beginning your greater outreach to people you don't yet know. Number 1, find out who's working on your favorite shows. You know, the ones you could realistically see yourself in the world of the project. You can look on IMDb, Deadline, Vanity Fair, or if you're in Europe, Crew United is also a great resource. Number 2, follow them on social media and add value to their posts. That means like with a comment, not just a heart. Make sure your comments are conversation openers. You could also share something of theirs that you think your followers would find relevant. And number 3, once you've had several interactions with them where they're responding to you as well, you might then DM them with something more specific. But again, make sure at this point you're still giving more than you're taking. Don't worry so much if the relationship never progresses much beyond this point. The important thing is that they know who you are. And definitely let your agent know that you have a social media relationship with the person in question. They can find out who their favorite casting directors are and try and get you in to see them. Then reach out again to the person you've been curating and let them know that you'll be meeting with that particular casting director. One thing you never need to do is tell them you'd love to be considered. Come on, people, they know that. You're an actor. Obviously, you want to work. Never waste time saying things that are already known. Remember at the beginning of the video, I mentioned that there was one more thing that you should absolutely remain consistent with? Have you figured it out yet? I'll give you just another couple of seconds. Write your answer in the comments. All right, so let's recap. In this video, we've talked about the 3 main areas where consistency will help push your career forward: your castability, your outreach, and your research. If you just do the things we've talked about in this video, you'll already be miles ahead of most other actors. If you're interested in learning how you can level up your career, use the link in the show notes to book a free consultation with yours truly. Oh, and one more thing. The benefits of consistency are cumulative, meaning every day of remaining consistent is like putting another dollar in the bank. $1 isn't going to make a difference in your life, but 365 might. Think about it. You didn't learn the skills to become an actor overnight. Why do you think you'd be able to build your career overnight? Nobody goes to the gym one day and expects to be ripped the next. Everybody knows that takes time and dedication. And so does your career. Until next time, you stay your bold and beautiful self. Bye-bye. Ha! You didn't think I was going to leave you hanging, did you? The one thing that I left off that list that you should absolutely be working on every day is your craft. But you knew that already, right? Now check out this recommended video on what working actors do and what you should be doing too. Until next time, bye-bye.